Welcome back to the channel Coin Master, another exciting video where today we are diving deep into the story, the history, and the big value of one of the most interesting coins of United States coinage, the Liberty I dime, the 1986 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin that has turned into one of the most talked about pieces among coin collectors and treasure hunters. If you are holding a Roosevelt dime from 1986 with the P mint mark struck at the Philadelphia Mint, you may just be holding something worth thousands and thousands of dollars. In fact, the current market value for a high-grade rare piece has been recorded at an astonishing $58,000. That is right. A coin that was once just 10 cents in your pocket change can now be worth more than a luxury car or even more than the cost of a brand new home in some parts of the world. To really appreciate the incredible journey of the 1986 P. Roosevelt dime, we need to go back to the origins of the Roosevelt dime itself. After the passing of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1945, who led America through the Great Depression and World War II, the United States Mint wanted to honor him in a significant way. Because Roosevelt was closely associated with the March of Dimes, a national campaign to fight polio, it was decided that his image would appear on the 10-cent coin. The first Roosevelt dime was issued in 1946, and it immediately replaced the Mercury dime that had been in circulation since 1916. Designed by John R. Sinek, the Roosevelt dime featured the left-facing portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," and the reverse showed the torch of liberty flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch symbolizing peace, strength, and freedom. By the mid-1980s, the Roosevelt dime was already a familiar part of American pockets, vending machines, and coin rolls. And 1986 was no exception. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of dimes that year with the P Mint mark. At first glance, the 1986 P dime looks just like any other dime you might find in circulation today, but what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary is condition, rarity in high grades, and sometimes special striking errors that occurred at the mint. Collectors are always on the lookout for dimes with full torch details on the reverse, known as full bands, where every line on the torch is sharply struck. These examples in pristine condition can reach mind-blowing prices at auction. Most 1986 P. Roosevelt dimes you will come across in pocket change are worth only face value, 10 cents, because they are heavily circulated. But here is where things get interesting. If you happen to discover one in uncirculated condition straight from a mint roll or set, especially graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC at the highest levels such as MS-67 or MS-68, you are talking about serious money. In fact, record auction sales have shown collectors paying tens of thousands of dollars for the absolute best examples. Imagine paying 10 cents at the store and later discovering that same coin could sell for $58,000. That is the thrill of coin collecting and treasure hunting. The year 1986 itself was a fascinating time in history. Ronald Reagan was serving as President of the United States. The Statue of Liberty centennial celebrations were taking place. The Challenger space shuttle tragedy occurred, and pop culture was exploding with new music, movies, and technology. Against this backdrop, the 1986 Roosevelt dime was being minted by the millions, quietly entering circulation without anyone imagining that decades later some of these small coins would turn into treasures. Collectors always emphasize the importance of mint marks, and the 1986 dime is no exception. The P mint mark stands for Philadelphia, one of the oldest mints in the country. During the 1980s, the Philadelphia Mint was producing massive amounts of coinage, but even with such high mintage, quality control and striking precision could make certain coins stand out. That is why when a coin surfaces in gem condition with perfect luster, razor-sharp details, and no visible marks, it becomes an elite piece sought after by numismatists. The story of the 1986 P dime also reminds us of the broader fascination with modern dimes. While older silver Roosevelt dimes from 1946 to 1964 are already collected for their silver content and history, the clad copper nickel dimes from 1965 onward are still circulating today. However, collectors have begun to realize that high-grade modern dimes are extremely hard to find because people rarely saved them when they were first minted. Most went directly into cash registers, vending machines, and everyday use. That means very few survived in pristine, untouched condition, which drives their value sky high today. Now let us talk about the market value in more detail. While circulated 1986p dimes will bring you only 10 cents, certified uncirculated pieces can range anywhere from a few dollars up to several hundred depending on the grade. But at the very top, those rare MS-68 examples with flawless surfaces and full band designations are where the magic happens. Those are the coins that reach into the tens of thousands, with the current high mark at around $58,000. The demand for these top population coins is fierce because registry set collectors, people who compete to have the finest graded sets of Roosevelt dimes, are willing to pay incredible amounts to secure the best of the best. Think about that for a second. A dime that was once just change in your pocket is now a status symbol in the coin collecting world, a key piece that can make or break a competitive set. And it is not just about the money. It is about history, rarity, and the thrill of owning something that connects you to both the mint and the legacy of President Roosevelt. Every time you hold one of these dimes, you are holding a piece of American history that has traveled through time from 1986 to today. So if you are a collector or even just someone curious about coins, check your change, search through coin rolls from the bank, and always keep an eye on your dimes. You never know when you might come across that sparkling gem hiding in plain sight. With patience, knowledge, and a little bit of luck, you could find yourself with a coin worth $58,000. The 1986p Roosevelt dime is more than just money, it is a reminder that treasures can be found in the smallest places. A simple 10-cent coin, struck in the Philadelphia Mint almost 4 decades ago, has the power to excite collectors, inspire treasure hunters, and change lives with its value. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a beginner, the story of this dime proves that history is alive in the coins we use every single day. So next time you hear that familiar jingle of coins in your pocket, pay close attention. Among the common dimes, quarters, and nickels, there just might be a 1986p Roosevelt dime waiting to reveal its hidden fortune. $58,000 for a dime, it sounds unbelievable, but in the world of rare coins, it is absolutely real. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe you will be the next lucky person to find a treasure hiding in plain sight. Do you want me to also create a short, eye-catching title and thumbnail text idea for this video so it ranks better on YouTube? Today we are diving deep into a coin that has been turning heads in the coin collecting world. It is the 2000 Roosevelt 1 dime, a coin that many people handle every single day without giving it a second thought. But what if I told you that this little 10-cent piece could be worth a fortune? Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks ordinary, yet its value on the collector's market has been recorded as high as $58,000. Yes, you heard that right, $58,000 for a single Roosevelt dime minted in the year 2000 with the Denver Mint mark. To understand why this coin has gained so much attention, we first need to look back at the history of the Roosevelt dime itself. The dime was introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt had passed away in 1945, and his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II left a lasting mark on America. He was also an advocate for the March of Dimes, an organization that raised money to fight polio. In fact, it was because of Roosevelt's connection to this cause that the dime was chosen as the coin to carry his portrait. The design was created by Chief Engraver John R. Sinek, and it has remained on the dime for nearly 8 decades. On the obverse, we see Roosevelt's portrait with the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, the year of issue, and the mint mark. On the reverse, there is the torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength, along with the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 dime. Now let's focus on the year 2000. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes in that year. At first glance, they are just like any other dime, made of a copper nickel-clad composition with a value of 10 cents in circulation. But not all coins are created equal. Some pieces from the 2000 batch are so well struck, so perfectly preserved, or containing rare errors that they become highly sought after by collectors. That is where the real money comes in. So why exactly would someone pay $58,000 for a coin that most people overlook? The answer lies in rarity, demand, and condition. Collectors prize coins that are in mint state condition, especially those that have never been circulated and show no signs of wear. A 2000 Roosevelt dime graded at the highest levels by professional grading services can command astonishing prices. And then there are error coins. Minting mistakes such as double dies, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and other unique errors make these coins even rarer and more valuable. Imagine finding a dime in your change where the design is slightly off-center, or the layers of metal are incomplete, or even a proof-like strike that was never meant for circulation. Those little imperfections are golden opportunities for collectors, and they can skyrocket the value of an otherwise ordinary dime. Over the years, the Roosevelt dime has become one of the most collected modern coins. While older silver dimes from the 1940s through 1964 have intrinsic metal value because of their silver content, the clad dimes like the 2000 rely more on condition and scarcity to determine their worth. Coin auctions have recorded surprising results where top-grade 2000 dimes in pristine condition sold for thousands upon thousands of dollars. In some exceptional cases, rare varieties and flawless examples push the value all the way up to $58,000. That is life-changing money for a 10-cent coin that could still be floating in circulation today. Think about how many times you have received change at the grocery store, the gas station, or a vending machine. How many times have you glanced at the coins and ignored them? It is entirely possible that right now you have a 2000 Roosevelt dime sitting in a jar, a wallet, or even lying on the floor of your car. This is why collectors and treasure hunters always encourage people to check their coins carefully. One overlooked dime could be the key to a small fortune. The story of the Roosevelt dime is not just about money, it is also about history. Each coin is a piece of the past that connects us to the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt and the values he represented. Liberty, trust, peace, and strength are all represented on this little piece of metal that we call a dime. When you hold one of these coins, especially a rare and valuable one, you are holding a symbol of American history and craftsmanship. The 2000 Roosevelt dime has proven that even in the modern era of coinage, treasures are still out there to be discovered. Collectors are constantly searching for these gems, sending them off to grading services, and competing in auctions to own a piece of numismatic history. The excitement around this coin has made it one of the most talked about Roosevelt dimes in recent years. With the current market value reaching as high as $58,000, it is clear that this coin has captured the imagination of both serious collectors and casual hobbyists alike. So, the next time you receive a dime, do not dismiss it as just 10 cents. Look closely at the date, check for the D mint mark, and examine its condition. You might just be holding a coin that could pay for a new car, a college tuition, or even change your life completely. The thrill of coin collecting is that you never know when an everyday object will turn into an extraordinary discovery. The 2000 Roosevelt dime is proof that treasures still circulate among us, waiting for someone sharp enough to recognize them. If you have enjoyed learning about this remarkable coin, remember to like this video, share it with other coin enthusiasts, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories about coins that could be worth a fortune. Who knows, your next dime might just be worth $58,000. Keep hunting, keep searching, and always check your change, because hidden treasures are out there, and one of them could be sitting in your pocket right now. Would you like me to also create a short, catchy YouTube title and description for this script to help it rank higher and attract clicks? Today we are talking about one very special coin that collectors and treasure hunters absolutely love to search for, the 2000 Roosevelt dime, also known as the Liberty I dime with the words "In God We Trust" and United States of America proudly inscribed on it. At first glance, it may just look like a regular dime, but the story, the history, and the potential value behind this coin is absolutely mind-blowing, and by the end of this video you will understand why some examples of this coin have been valued at an incredible $58,000 in the collector's market. The Roosevelt dime has a very rich history that dates back to 1946. When the United States Mint first introduced the design as a way to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt had passed away in 1945, and he was remembered as a strong leader during the Great Depression and World War II, but he was also known for his efforts in founding the March of Dimes, an organization dedicated to fighting polio. The dime was chosen to carry his portrait because of his direct connection with that mission. The obverse of the dime features Roosevelt's profile facing left, with the inscriptions Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date. On the reverse, you'll find a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength and independence, along with the words United States of America and one dime. This iconic design has remained essentially unchanged for more than 75 years, making the Roosevelt dime one of the most enduring coins in American history. Now let's bring our focus to the year 2000. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions upon millions of Roosevelt dimes with the P Mint mark, and most of these coins entered everyday circulation, being used for vending machines, stores, or sitting in jars and drawers all across the country. Because of such a large mintage, people often assume the 2000 P dime is just a common coin with no real value beyond 10 cents. But the truth is that certain coins from this year, especially those in pristine condition or with rare errors, have shocked the coin collecting community by selling for astonishing amounts. So what makes a 2000 P Roosevelt dime worth more than its face value and in some cases worth up to $58,000? The answer comes down to rarity, condition, and errors. Collectors prize coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of wear and still shine just like the day they were struck. A 2000 P dime graded MS-68 or MS-69 by professional grading services can bring thousands of dollars at auction simply because so few high-grade examples exist. On top of that, error coins are a huge part of why this dime has gained so much attention. Errors like off-center strikes, double die obverse, missing letters, broad strikes, or even transitional planchet errors where the coin was struck on the wrong metal can skyrocket the value far beyond what you might imagine. Some of these unique error coins are one of a kind, and when collectors compete to own them, the price can climb into the tens of thousands. Think about it for a moment. A coin you might find in your loose change or receive back from a store could actually be a hidden gem. Imagine pulling out a 2000 P dime that looks just a little different, sending it to be graded, and discovering that it is worth $58,000. That is the thrill of coin collecting and why so many people around the world are fascinated by the hunt for rare coins. It is not just about money, it is also about holding a piece of American history, a small yet powerful reminder of the era it was made and the stories it carries. The Roosevelt dime has witnessed decades of American life, and the 2000 P edition is no exception. In the year 2000, the world was entering a new millennium. Technology was booming. The internet was becoming part of daily life, and people were experiencing a huge cultural shift. Owning a coin from that year is like keeping a little time capsule of history in your hand. For collectors, that historical context combined with condition and rarity makes it even more valuable. When we talk about circulation, millions of these dimes are still out there being used and spent every single day. They pass through hands so quickly that most people never stop to take a closer look. But those who do can sometimes uncover unbelievable treasures. Even a circulated coin without wear but with an unusual strike or visible error can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. Coins in brilliant uncirculated condition, pulled directly from mint sets, are especially prized because they are protected from scratches and damage. Auction houses and coin grading companies have recorded cases where the 2000 P Roosevelt dime fetched jaw-dropping prices. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for the finest known examples, and with coin grading being more popular than ever, people are constantly sending their coins in to discover whether they own something extraordinary. The $58,000 valuation is reserved for the rarest and highest quality finds, but even lower grade examples with unique features can still bring in impressive sums compared to face value. The exciting part is that this coin could be anywhere. It could be in your wallet, in a coin roll you pick up from the bank, or in a family jar that has been sitting untouched for years. That is what makes the hunt so thrilling. Unlike some rare coins that are locked away in museums or high-end collections, the 2000 P Roosevelt dime is still part of everyday circulation, which means the opportunity is out there for anyone to discover a hidden fortune. Collectors love to share stories of finding a rare coin in change, and it happens more often than you think. Every time someone takes a closer look at their coins, they increase their chances of finding something valuable. The key is knowledge, knowing what to look for, understanding the details, and recognizing the signs of rarity. For the 2000p dime, look for sharp details, know where, and especially any unusual marks or doubling in the letters and numbers. Errors can sometimes be spotted even without a magnifying glass, so it is always worth checking carefully. The coin market today is incredibly strong, with new collectors joining all the time. Demand continues to grow for Roosevelt dimes, particularly those that stand out from the millions of ordinary examples. While most people think only pennies or silver dollars can be worth a fortune, the dime proves otherwise. This tiny coin can pack a massive punch when it comes to value. And with a potential worth of $58,000, the 2000p dime has cemented itself as one of the most talked about modern coins in circulation. So, the next time you get change at a store, do not overlook those little dimes. One of them might just be the key to a life-changing discovery. The 2000p Roosevelt dime shows us that history, rarity, and a bit of luck can transform a 10-cent piece into a treasure worth tens of thousands. Keep your eyes open, keep hunting, and who knows, the next great coin story could be yours. If you found this video helpful and exciting, make sure to share it with your friends and fellow treasure hunters. Let's spread the word about the hidden gems out there in everyday change, and keep the passion for coin collecting alive. And remember, that little dime in your hand might just be worth a fortune waiting to be discovered. Would you like me to also write you a shorter version of this script that's optimized for fast-paced YouTube Shorts or TikTok-style content so you can attract both long video viewers and short-form audiences?